The sound of tires on my gravel drive woke me, and when I saw a black SUV roll past my no trespassing sign, I knew the HOA was back for war. Real justice moments like this remind us that truth always finds its way to light. So before we begin, drop your country or city name in the comments. I'd love to see how far this message travels. And if you believe in justice over power, hit that like button and subscribe, because this channel stands for stories that speak truth to power. The sun was just starting to climb over the fields, lighting up the dew across the fence line. My coffee was still half full when I heard the crunch of tires again, slow, deliberate, like someone taking inventory of what wasn't theirs. Out front, a black SUV rolled to a stop. 3 men in matching navy polos got out, clipboards in hand. Their leader, the one in sunglasses and a smug grin, pointed at my barn like he was giving orders. I set my cup down. So it begins again, I thought. I walked out to the gate, boots grinding on gravel. "Can I help you?" I asked. He didn't look up. "You can start by removing that barn," he said. "It's a code violation under the HOA's authority." I almost laughed. HOA? Out here? This land's been private since my father bought it in '78. The man smirked. "There's a new subdivision charter that covers this property now. You'll be receiving notices soon." Behind him, one of his guys started filming me on his phone, narrating like I was some criminal. That's when I noticed no license plates on the SUV. I took a breath. "You've got 5 seconds to get off my property before you're trespassing." He stepped closer, resting his hand on the gate. "Sir, this is community property now. If you resist, we'll have the county remove your structures." That's when I pushed the gate open. I didn't swing. I didn't yell. I simply moved. When he reached out to shove me back, I twisted his wrist, stepped forward, and brought him down to one knee, clean, fast, controlled. The phone guy backed up instantly, cursing. "Back to your car," I said quietly. "All of you." They stumbled into the SUV, one of them yelling something about calling the sheriff. I didn't wait, I called first. By the time the deputies arrived, the SUV was gone, but my cameras had everything. Every angle. Every word. I handed the footage over. The older deputy, Simmons, shook his head. "Those HOA clowns again? We've had 3 complaints about them trying to strong-arm landowners. Don't worry, this won't stick." But I knew better. People like that don't stop when you embarrass them, they regroup. 2 days later, I got a certified letter. Notice of intent to sue, assault and interference with HOA operations. They were actually trying to flip the story. I took the envelope, laughed once, and called Julia, my attorney, and an old friend from my Marine days. "Looks like we're going to war," I told her. She said, "Then we do it by the book." Julia started digging. Within a week, she uncovered something strange. The HOA was newly formed, attached to a shady shell corporation registered by a man named Jeff Dunmore, who just happened to be Karen's husband. The same Karen who'd once tried to fine a neighbor for painting his door red. Their subdivision charter overlapped my property line by mistake, or maybe not. It was an illegal zoning overlay they were using to expand their power and raise local property taxes. Julia filed a counterclaim for harassment, trespass, and attempted extortion. Meanwhile, I uploaded the camera footage, unedited, to my YouTube channel and local veteran group pages. Within hours, the comments flooded in. People from all over the county recognized the men, calling them HOA enforcers. By the end of the week, it had over 200,000 views. Karen and her group panicked. They held a meeting claiming I'd attacked community officials, but the video showed everything. No spin. No lies. Just truth. On the day of the hearing, I walked into the courthouse wearing my cleanest flannel. Julia had a file the size of a dictionary. The HOA's lawyer tried to paint me as aggressive. Then Julia stood up and played the footage. Silence. You could hear the audio, the SUV's tires, the man's voice threatening demolition, the first step he took toward me before the takedown. Then Julia dropped the hammer. She presented county zoning maps, emails between Jeff and Karen discussing expanding jurisdiction, and one memo where Karen literally wrote, "If we annex his ranch, the development value triples." The judge leaned forward. "You attempted to claim private property without legal authority?" The HOA lawyer froze. Jeff was called to the stand. Under oath, he admitted they hadn't gotten county approval. Julia didn't smile, she just said, "No further questions, Your Honor." The judge dismissed their case on the spot, then referred their actions to the district attorney for investigation. When the gavel hit, the courtroom broke into a low buzz. Even the deputies nodded. I didn't feel triumph. I felt peace. 3 months later, the fake HOA was dissolved. Karen and her husband were fined heavily and forced to sell their house to cover damages. I took a portion of the settlement and donated it to a local legal aid fund for homeowners fighting HOA abuse. Then I put up a new sign by my gate. Big, bold, freshly painted. Private land, protected by truth. Sometimes, when I sip coffee at sunrise, I still see tire marks in the gravel, old ones, fading with time. But this land's still mine. And justice? Justice still rides here. Truth always finds its way to light, no matter how deep they try to bury it. Drop your city in the comments if you stand with real people over corrupt power. And remember, justice isn't loud, it's steady.